All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you guys to our 2.8 lesson. We're now going to talk about angle two-column proofs. Talked about algebraic, we've talked about segments. Now we're going to talk about angles. You're going to need access to this cheat sheet, what I call a little cheat sheet. It's going to name, these are going to be your postulates, theorems, definitions in the left column. The middle column is what it's saying, and sort of what you'll see in, is the letters and numbers may change, but things you'll see, we'll walk you through it. And in the last column, I have put in there so you guys can see what exactly you're looking for to help you identify, because you have things that have complementary, supplements, and then complementary and supplementary down here, so that you know which ones to use. And I'll be bringing this back into the picture. We are going to do an I do, or we do, you do. So the first one we will do together. The second one you will do on your own and check with in class the next day. So let's go ahead and get started, since we already know how two-column proofs work. We are given that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. So what that means, we already know, these are going to add to equal 180 degrees, okay? So next, we are also given that angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary. So look at the picture. I'm not going to draw anything on there yet. So that's our first reason given. We're going to move down here to measurement angle 1 plus measurement angle 2 equals 180 degrees. And the measurement angle 3 plus the measurement angle 2 equals 180 degrees. So when we take a look here, we're going to look up at statement number 1 and see, okay, here we saw that we had supplementary angles are supplementary, and then statement 2 had 180 degrees. So I'm going to look over here in that third column that I added here, and I'm going to look for the words supplementary and 180 degrees. And whenever I look over here, I see supplementary right here, but I don't see 180 degrees. So I'm going to keep looking and try to find that one. Look at that. Supplementary angles, 180 degrees. So over here, I see that we're saying that two angles are supplementary. Therefore, the measurements add to equal 180 degrees. It's exactly what we have right here and then also right here. So what we saw between these two statements is we saw the words supplementary and 180 degrees. So when we see that over here, we're going to go all the way over to the left and see it is the definition of supplementary angles. That's our reason. That's how this chart is going to work. I'm going to abbreviate definition of supplementary angles. All right? Next, we're moving down here to the measurement of angle 1 plus the measurement of angle 2 is equal to the measurement of angle 3 plus the measurement of angle 4. Let's take a look at what's happened in statement number 3. The first thing I want you to notice is between statement 2 and 3, right here, I have the measurement of angle 1 plus the measurement of angle 2. I still have that. Nothing's changed on the left side. Okay? What has changed is what's on the right side, right here. What we have done is the right side in statement 2 said 180 degrees. We replaced that with something else that equaled 180 degrees. And what else equaled 180 degrees? Measurement of angle 3 and the measurement of angle 2. So we have taken out, we ignored this 180, we've replaced this 180 with something else that equals 180. And when we replace, we learned we are going to be looking at, let me actually do this, we're replacing here. So when we replace, we're looking at substitution. Next, when we move on down to statement number 4, we're going to see some similarities here. I still have this measurement at angle 1. I still have an equal sign, and this measurement at angle 3 came down. But we notice that something is missing from both sides of the equal sign. That measurement at angle 2 is gone because we don't need it on both. If it's on both sides, they're going to cancel each other out here. So we're going to go ahead and say, well, how did we get from statement 3 to statement 4? Well, we got rid of the measurement at angle 2. How do we get rid of? We're adding, we have to do the opposite. So this goes back to your algebraic proofs. We're going to subtract the measurement of angle 2 on both sides. That cancels them out. And what are we left with? The measurement of angle 1 is equal to the measurement of angle 3, exactly what we have down here. So since we subtracted from both sides, this is your subtraction. POE, I didn't put POE on number 3, no big deal. We know what we're talking about. So let's talk about going from statement 4 to statement 5 now. Okay, when we move from statement 4 to statement 5, what am I noticing is changing between these two? Well, I see here that I have the measurements are equal. I still have the 1 and the 3, but the measurements are equal. We now go to just the angles are congruent. So what we're seeing here is we're going to write it down, measurements are equal, and angles are congruence. So these are the things we're going to look for on our little cheat sheet. So we'll bring our little cheat sheet back out, and we're looking for, now we're going to see something here. Angles are congruent and measurements are equal. Okay, well I see right here, but it's in the other order. It does not matter. This little arrow in the middle says it can go either way. Either one of these can come first. So if we look at what we have the measurements are equal, then the angles are congruent. So it's still going to follow along with this one right here, definition of congruent angles. So we could abbreviate definition of congruent angles. So anytime we go from measurements are equal to the angles are congruent, or angles are congruent to measurements are equal, this is going to be your definition of congruent angles. Okay? So we have completed that as my highlighter rolls across the desk. And then the next one down here, you're going to do on your own. Try to do the best you can. Use your pencil. Okay? Use your cheat sheet. Look at the specific, that's not your cheat sheet. That's the answer key. Use your cheat sheet. Try to do the best you can on what you're looking for. Okay? We're going to go ahead and do the next problem together. So here we have, starting off with angles 5 and 7 are vertical angles. So that is our given. We don't need to look at anything. It's our given. Next, we have that angle 5 and 6 are a linear pair. Angle 7 and 6 are a linear pair. So we don't go from vertical angles to linear pair because they're two completely different kinds of angle relationships. Also, if you look on here, you're not going to find anything in this right column that says both vertical angles and linear pair. So when you find yourself not being able to find anything on your cheat sheet for your angles, take a look at the picture. Sometimes we have to look at the picture and see that they are a linear pair. And that's what's going to bring us to, and I'll show you that in a minute, the definition of linear pair. What I mean by that is if you look at angle 5 and 6 in the picture, 5 and 6 sit on a line adjacent to each other, right next to each other. Angle 7 and 6, right here, same thing. They're on a line together, adjacent. They are a linear pair. So we look at the picture and we're able to identify this is a linear pair. So here we want to note, how did we figure that one out? We looked at the picture. Okay, we looked at the picture and we saw that they were a linear pair. So look at picture and see a linear pair. That's how we knew our reason, was you had to look. Okay. The next one we have here, between statement 2 and 3, we can see if we have a relation. We can see something on our cheat sheet. Between 1 and 2, we couldn't. So we had to look at our picture. Between 2 and 3, always check your cheat sheet first, okay? We're going from linear pair to supplementary. So we're going to look on the right and see, do we see anything that says linear pair and supplementary? Oh, I already passed it up. Linear pair, supplementary. So we look over here and we say they are a linear pair, they are supplementary. They are a linear pair, they are supplementary. Okay, we did to both of them. So we go all the way over here to the right, and we see that that is called the linear pair postulate. So between these two, we saw linear pair and supplementary angles. And this gave us the linear pair postulate. Our last step here is going to be, we have these angles that are supplementary. We have two different sets of angles here. Okay, they're supplementary. And what we've done here is we notice angle 5 and angle 7 came down here to say that they were congruent. You notice how angle 6 is the same on both of these. So if we get rid of that angle 6 there, we see that we bring the other two down. So we have two that are supplementary, and we have a congruent symbol. Okay, so just a heads up, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for supplementary and congruent symbol. And it's on there. Let's take a look. We have two different statements here saying that two different angles are supplementary with the same one here. So we have the supplementary and our congruent. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look for like supplementary and congruent. Oh, that's right up here at the top. Supplementary and the congruent symbol. So we go over here. Where is it? There you are. All the way. Oh, look at this. Same thing. We have the angle 1 and 3 that come together. The angle 2 goes away. Okay, there, you cross out the one that's alike. Put these two together, and those are going to be congruent because angle 2 is not going to change measurements. Okay, angle 2 in the same problem is not going to change how big or small the angle measurement is. We go over here and we see it's the congruent supplements theorem. So our reason here, we could have abbreviated the symbol, congruent supplements theorem. It's all a matter of looking at that cheat sheet right now, okay? So the last one here, you're going to do the best you can. Look for certain things. Don't forget that we are sometimes going to go back to our algebraic properties too. We had that with the substitution and the subtraction, so don't forget those still exist. And we'll go over that as a warm-up in class. Good luck. See you tomorrow.